Something has already happened, not something that is about to happen, not something that is building toward its moment or assembling its conditions or waiting for the right alignment of circumstances before it can begin. Something that has already occurred, that has already been set in motion. That is, as you receive this reading, already in the process of becoming what it is becoming without requiring your permission or your awareness or any further action on your part to continue. The movement has started not from your effort, from something above your effort, from the specific, sovereign, operates outside the ordinary mechanics of cause and effect quality of what happens when a force larger than circumstance decides that a particular person's life is moving in a particular direction. Your life is moving, and what has been moved cannot be moved back. I want to begin with the no turning back piece because it is the most striking element of this reading, and it deserves its full, honest treatment before anything else. No turning back does not mean there will be no difficulty. It does not mean the path forward is clear of obstacles, or that what is coming will arrive without its own challenges, or that the moving will be entirely comfortable, or that you will never have moments of doubt about the direction. Those things will exist. The no turning back is not a promise of ease, it is a promise of direction. The specific, irreversible quality of something that has been initiated at a level that transcends the ordinary resistance available to it. Where the ordinary mechanisms by which things are disrupted or delayed or turned around are simply not operating at the level at which this movement is occurring. Where what is being moved by something that does not respond to the obstacles in the path the way that human initiated things respond. That is not deterred by them, that encounters them and continues. That has the specific, steady, nothing can stop this quality of something that has been ordained rather than simply attempted. You are in the ordained territory now. Let me describe what has been moved, because unstoppable without content is simply a feeling. The content is what gives the unstoppable its specific, real, actually happening quality. There are three dimensions. The first is the relational dimension. Something has been moved in the specific territory of connection between you and another person, not moved in the sense of a simple change in the dynamic, moved in the sense of a fundamental reorganization of what is available between you, of a barrier that was in place, whatever form that barrier took, having been addressed at a level that the barrier's own logic could not have produced, of the specific, immovable by human effort quality of whatever was standing between you and the fullness of what this connection is capable of being, having been removed by something other than human effort. The clearing is done. What was in the way is not in the way. And what was being kept from its full expression by what was in the way is now moving toward that full expression without the obstruction. The clearing is done. What was in the way is not in the way. And what was being kept from its full expression by what was in the way is now moving toward that full expression without the obstruction. I want to describe the quality of that clearing more specifically, because clearing can be a vague word, and what has happened deserves precision. What was removed was not the obstacle itself in the way of a problem being solved. It was removed in the way of something being released. The specific loosening quality of something that had been held in a particular position by forces that no longer have the authority or the energy to hold it there, that was always going to move when the right conditions arrived. And the right conditions have arrived not because of anything you arranged, but because the arrangement was handled at a level above your arranging. You may have been trying to move this yourself. You may have been working at it, praying at it, thinking around it, looking for the specific handle by which it could be shifted, and finding each time that it was not moving in response to your effort in the way that things generally move in response to genuine effort, because it was not available to be moved by your effort. It was available to be moved by what moved it. And what moved it has moved it completely. The second dimension is the material. What God has moved for you in the practical, daily, numbers and resources territory of your life has a quality that I want to name specifically because it is different from the ordinary quality of things getting better in the material dimension. It has already been decided, not by you, not by any human authority whose decision could be reversed or reconsidered or qualified out of existence by subsequent circumstances, by the specific higher level of decision making that produces results in the material world without requiring the full, visible, traceable sequence of cause and effect that human decisions require. The result is coming, not as the consequence of a plan you executed perfectly, as the arrival of something that was determined for you at a level above the plan. That is heading toward you with the specific, already decided quality of something that has been sent rather than simply hoped for. You did not earn this through strategy, you were given it through grace. AMM. The third dimension is the interior. This one is the most significant and the most personal, and the one that I think will be the most deeply felt when its full reality arrives in your awareness. Something has shifted in who you are allowed to be, not allowed by any external authority, allowed in the specific interior sense of the specific limiting quietly operating belief structure that has been shaping what you permitted yourself to want and to pursue and to claim as the appropriate territory of your life having been addressed. There is a belief that has been present in you, the specific acquired, built from experience quality of a belief about your own ceiling, about what you deserve, about the appropriate scale of what you pursue, about whether the full, large, genuinely extraordinary version of the life that is possible for you is something you are allowed to inhabit without apology or qualification or the specific, preemptive self reduction of someone who is not entirely convinced that the full version is for someone like them. That belief has been moved, not by your effort to change it, by the specific divine quality of something being demonstrated to you that simply cannot coexist with the limiting belief. That is arriving in such clear, undeniable form that the belief cannot maintain itself in the face of the evidence. The evidence of what you are being given is the dissolution of the belief that you were not worthy of being given it. The evidence of what you are being given is the dissolution of the belief that you were not worthy of being given it. I want to give this one more specific dimension because the interior shift is the most lasting of the three, and deserves its full description. When a limiting belief dissolves, it does not disappear in a single dramatic moment. It dissolves through contact with evidence that it cannot survive, through the specific, accumulating, impossible to deny quality of experience that contradicts what the belief has been insisting. That keeps arriving in forms that require the belief to do increasingly contorted work to maintain itself against the contradiction. What is arriving for you in this period is that kind of evidence, too clear to explain away, too sustained to dismiss as exception, too specific in its address to you in the specific quality of what is being given and who it is being given to and what it says about the value of who is receiving it, to be filed under the comfortable category of coincidence. The belief cannot survive contact with what is arriving. And when the belief dissolves, what remains is simply the truth that you have always been worthy of this, that the ceiling was never structural, that the full, generous, extraordinary version of what is available to you has always been available, was always going to be available, was simply waiting for the specific divine timing of when the availability would become undeniable. The undeniable is arriving. I want to speak to the what the fuck quality of the title, because what the fuck is specific language and it carries specific information about the emotional texture of what is arriving. What is arriving is genuinely surprising, not in the pleasant, this is nice surprise of something better than expected showing up in a territory where you had moderate expectations. In the specific requires a moment to integrate quality of something that exceeds all available frames, that is larger than what hope was producing as the upper end of the reasonable range, that arrives with the specific, I did not allow myself to fully imagine this quality of something that was always available but that you had not yet claimed as a real possibility. The what the fuck is the gap between what you were prepared for and what has arrived. And that gap is significant. Not because your preparation was insufficient, because what has been moved for you is beyond the range of what preparation in the ordinary sense can fully accommodate. Because what God moves tends to exceed what human planning produces. Because the ceiling of what is available through divine movement is categorically different from the ceiling of what is available through human effort alone. You are about to experience the difference. Tell me in the comments if you can feel this. If the current period of your life has a quality that is different from what immediately preceded it, a quality of something having shifted, of the air being slightly different, of the ordinary daily texture of things having a charge to it that was not present before, whether you have been sensing the movement without being able to fully name what is moving. Tell me where you are meeting this reading. Let me speak to the unstoppable quality specifically, because unstoppable is the word the title uses, and it is not simply an intensifier. It is a description of the specific property of what has been set in motion. What is unstoppable cannot be blocked by the ordinary things that block human efforts. Human efforts can be blocked by timing, by other people's choices, by circumstance that assembles itself against the effort, by the specific, external, not within my control quality of a world that does not always cooperate with what a person is trying to accomplish. What God moves is not in the same relationship to those things. Not because the timing and the people and the circumstances are irrelevant, because they are being organized. Because the specific active quality of what has been set in motion includes the organization of the conditions in which it arrives, the preparation of the timing, the positioning of the people, the arrangement of the circumstances. Not by you, by what moved this. The same force that moved it is arranging the path along which it travels. And the path, while it will have its own particular quality that you will navigate in your particular way, leads where it leads, toward you. I want to speak to what today means in this reading, because the title says today, and today is the specific time-bounded word that gives this reading its urgency. Today is the day the movement becomes undeniable, not the day it started, the day its quality becomes visible enough in the external world to be recognized, when what has been occurring at the level of the divine decision making, the level that is not visible until it produces its effects, produces enough of its effects to be clearly seen. Something today is the sign, not in the mystical, requires interpretation sense of a sign that could mean many things. In the specific, this is the confirmation quality of something that arrives and that allows you to understand in its arriving that what you have been sensing about your situation is accurate, that the movement is real, that the unstoppable quality of it is the actual quality of what is happening. The sign is part of the gift of knowing, of being let in on what has already been decided, of receiving the confirmation that the waiting was not in vain, that the direction is correct, that what you have been hoping for and working toward, and in your most honest and private moments believing was possible, has been addressed at a level that your hope and your work and your belief could not have addressed. Today is the day of the confirmation. I want to say something about the relationship between what God moves and what you do. They are not competing. This reading is not telling you that your effort is irrelevant, that what you do from here forward does not matter, that the unstoppable quality of what has been set in motion means you can sit back and receive without continuing to be who you are in the full, active, genuine quality of being who you are. What you do matters, but it matters differently now. Before the movement, your effort was the primary mechanism. The specific, I have to make this happen quality of someone who understands that what they want requires their active, sustained, continuous effort to have any chance of arriving. After the movement, your effort is the cooperation. The specific I am moving with what is moving quality of someone who is no longer trying to generate momentum, but who is aligning themselves with the momentum that has been generated, who is being who they are and doing what they do in the full, genuine quality of someone who is cooperating with a direction rather than trying to create one. The cooperation is effortful, but it has a different quality from the generating. It has the quality of something that is supported. The cooperation is effortful, but it has a different quality from the generating. It has the quality of something that is supported. I want to describe what the supported quality actually feels like, because it is different from effort in a way that deserves naming. Unsupported effort has a quality of working against resistance, of pushing something that is not yet moving, of the specific draining quality of someone who is generating all the momentum themselves. Who has to sustain the full force of their own intention continuously, or the thing stops? Who knows that the stopping of their effort is the stopping of the progress? Supported effort has a different relationship to rest. The quality of someone who is moving with something rather than moving against something. Who can put their full effort in when effort is the appropriate contribution, and who can rest without the resting undoing the movement, because the movement is not entirely dependent on them to sustain it. Something else is sustaining it. Your effort is the expression of your participation in what is moving, not the cause of the movement. The cause has already operated. The movement is already underway. Your participation is what makes it yours, what makes the arriving thing fully received rather than simply delivered. What ensures that what is moving toward you meets a person who is actively, genuinely, fully themselves cooperating with its arrival? Be that person, fully in the specific who you actually are quality that has always been the thing that matters most. Let me speak to the no turning back one final time before we close, because I want to give it its full meaning in the context of everything this reading has named. The no turning back is not only about the situation, it is about you. The version of you that receives what is arriving, that integrates the what the fuck quality of it, that understands through the experiencing of what has been moved for you, the full, accurate, finally demonstrated scale of what you are and what you deserve and what is appropriate for someone of your specific, genuine, irreplaceable quality of being. That version cannot be unbecome. Once you have the full experience of what it means to be someone for whom something of this quality is moved, the prior, smaller understanding of yourself is no longer available as a genuine position. You cannot unlearn what the evidence teaches. And the evidence arriving in this period of your life is teaching you something about the scale of who you are that the prior chapter did not fully demonstrate. No turning back. From this understanding, from this version of yourself, from this knowledge of what is available to you, that knowledge, Virgo, is the most significant thing that is being moved. Everything else is the expression of it. As we close, I want to give you one image: a river, not running in the direction you have been trying to push water, running in the direction it was always going to run, in the specific, natural, follows the terrain quality of something that has found its course and that is now simply moving in that course with the full weight of everything that feeds it. You are in the river, not swimming against it, in it, moving with the force that has been organized for your direction, doing your part, the specific, active, who you are quality of your part within the larger movement. The river is going where it is going. What God has moved is going where it was moved to go. And you are in that movement now, carried not passively, actively, in the full, genuine, this is who I am quality of someone who is cooperating with something that is already going in the direction that was always meant. There is no turning back, Virgo, because what has already been moved cannot be unmoved. And what cannot be unmoved is taking you somewhere extraordinary.